But my number one scoring point guard of all time is Damian Lillard. I'm a huge fan of Dame. And again, I don't know if it's a blueprint to win a championship with a scoring minded point guard, but I don't think he's just scoring minded. I think he actually does do what is necessary for his team to be successful. He just, like Gilbert, happens to be extremely talented at putting the ball in the Tim. And you've seen him in the bubble. He is pulling up from the logo against double teams and just with the utmost confidence draining them. And he needs to do that for them to win. And then playing alongside an undersized two guard and CJ McCollum doesn't make life easier for him because it allows other teams to, you could argue, have defenders out there that can just switch. And we're in an era where everyone just switches and switches anyway. So if you get the pick and roll and you try to isolate a big man, they don't have a traditional team in Portland, and he doesn't have a ton of help. He's playing with, Carmelo Anthony, who's having a resurgence, but an undersized CJ McCollum who can fill it up in his own right. But the team is on Dame's shoulders, and he continues to answer the bell. And what I love about Dame is the way he scores. He has unlimited range. Now he's in that conversation with Steph Curry that he's a logo shooter, and he's been more relevant, in the sense of playoffs and appearance. Steph's been dealing with injuries, within that whole organization and everything. But I think Dame he is the most lethal deep shooter right now, but he can score in any given way. He can attack the 10. He's got low-key underrated bounce for how small he is.
And to add to that, I think some people will give it to him. Not a lot, I think, do, or at least I don't hear a lot about it, but he's probably just the greatest finisher as Kyrie, and we hold Kyrie to a high standard. I think the only reason we don't really talk about Dame being a great finisher as far as like getting to the bucket and like finishing with ease is because Kyrie does add the little jelly, little pepper to his midair, or and Dame doesn't do that. He's just going in there to score on you. I think he can do it, but he just doesn't. Like his whole thing is just to go out there and attack you and kill you. That's his mindset going into the game. Like I would say he's somewhat of a Russell Westbrook-esque as far as when he attacks the rim. Dame is going to go to the rim and try to score on you or dunk on you. Right. He's going to get there by any means.
He doesn't play with his food. What he does is, like you said, he's in kill mode. He's trying to get the bucket, and he's got that kind of old school mentality. And one of the reasons why I love watching him play now, especially in this era, because it reminds me of an old head who comes out. He's not going to play with his food. He's going to make the move necessary to get that space or attack the rim and not do any razzle dazzle jelly fam, up and under bullshit that he doesn't need to do. And so he's going to be as efficient as possible. And he's underrated. People he gets respect as, a top point guard in the league, but they put Steph Curry over him. They put Kyrie over him. They used to put like John Wall over him. There's a lot of Russell Westbrook would be just by default over him in a sense because of everything he can do. But Dame, I think one of the things that really impressed me as well, and I know we're talking, scoring point guards, in which, again, I think he can score the ball from every level with ease over anybody and get any space that he needs to create a shot from anywhere. But even when he was getting double teamed in the bubble, in the playoffs, at half court, or even beyond half court, they'd have someone pressuring him all the way up the court, like almost face guarding. And then they would run a double at him at half. So he would need to get a pick and roll at half court to get any kind of space. Like that's LA Fitness guarding the dude who has 13 in a game to 15. Like no one does that in the league. That's ridiculous. And so, but what I loved about Dame is even when they'd throw those double and triple teams at him and basically box and one him, he would still be willing to make the right play. He wasn't forcing to us like outrageously, like I still got to get mine. And then it came to a point where, oh shit, we're going to lose this game if you don't start shooting because Gary Trent or whoever else, they're not hitting these shots that we're giving them wide open. So Dame, I'd rather take a contested bad shot from you than some of these other guys shooting. And so that's why I love him as an all-around point guard, let alone just a scoring-minded point guard, because he can score, but he also does what's necessary for the team to succeed, in my opinion.